What's happening, guys? It's your girl Mina. Welcome back to my channel. You guys already know what it is. First and foremost, big up everyone in the chat. Yo, we got things to talk about. We have we have stuff to talk about. 3 points away from home, let's be real. There are some positives to take away from that game. I'm gonna be real, guys. But you know what? I look at Erik ten Hag and I think, bro, I'm so sorry. You got a bunch of donuts. You got a bunch of donuts to play with in that team, because there's no way that performance, I look at it and think any of that is actually on Erik ten Hag. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm going to be real. There are some positives. So I'm going to start with the positives. Because 3 points away from home at Luton, it's not for everyone. Not this season. It's not for everyone. We can sit here and talk about, shots conceded on goal, etc., number of shots faced by the opponent. But there are some positives. Rasmus Hojlund 7 in 6 now. He's finding his feet in the Premier League. Went first 14 games, no goals. Next 6 games, 7 goals. Yeah. However, Bruno Fernandes, is the most frustrating player for me to watch in a Manchester United shirt, probably in the last 10 years. Easily. Today, I should have sat there with a notepad. Big up to everyone in the chat, first and foremost. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. You can join the membership club. It's the pinned comment in the chat. You can send in super chats with any comments, any questions. I'm just glad for once that United actually got 3 points on my birthday weekend. And if you lot are not realizing, I'm a bit under the weather, so I sound a bit different. But the content's still contenting. We got the new setup as well. And we got 3 points today. But that Bruno Fernandes performance, poor. Embarrassing. His football intelligence is subpar. Kobbie Mainoo, again, a man amongst boys in that team. I'm not gonna lie, I had some questions when Casemiro came off. I thought Kobbie as a lone 6, I don't know about that, but he held his own. Ross Barkley showed Bruno Fernandes levels. Let me repeat that again. Ross Barkley on the losing team showed Bruno Fernandes levels today on how to be disciplined, how to be tidy, how to play with good tempo. That's the problem with United, I think the biggest issue with United is conditioning. I was saying this on Twitter. I've said this before in the past. I think the physical conditioning of the team is so bad because they just look tired after 30 minutes. 30 minutes into the game, they got no legs in them. And as a result, because of the lack of physical conditioning, the tempo is erratic. It's inconsistent. United win possession to just then give it away straight away. Kobbie Mainoo is telling Bruno Fernandes, calm down. Listen to me again. 18-year-old Kobbie Mainoo is telling Bruno, just play calm. Erratic football, erratic with the ball, irresponsible if you want to say it. Because what he did in the 92nd minute, I can't look past that. And someone actually tweeted me saying that I was being negative. I cannot look past what Bruno did in the 92nd minute where United have a corner. They play it in. It comes back to Bruno. He cuts in with his right foot and shoots straight at the keeper. It's 2-1 with 1.5 minutes to play. What happens? Luton get up the pitch. They get a corner, hit the crossbar. They get another opportunity. Johnny Evans, who came on at half-time, makes a big clearance to keep the game for United. And all of that is because of Bruno. Not only that, he made some poor decisions even throughout the game. Like, we could talk about when... What's the keeper's name? Kamikaze? Something like Kamakuzi, whatever his name is. Shout out to him, Players went around him more times than roundabouts, bro. 3 times a United player spun him. Kaminsky, thank you. Kaminsky. 3 times players went around him, and all 3 times everybody made bad decisions. They made bad decisions. Bruno's one, I would say, is an exception because he actually leaves the keeper, gets past the keeper, goes for goal, and obviously Sambi Lukonga comes through with that interception or with the big block. Garnacho, a part of me is a bit... I try not to be harsh on Garnacho with stuff because I look at him, I think he's still developing, he's still learning. But there's no way I can look at Kobbie Mainoo today and just throughout the season and see that even in the most erratic games, Kobbie is the calmest. He's the most responsible. He's the tidiest. He's had moments in the season where he's cost us. There was a game, you guys remember that game, poor back pass? But you can look past that because he's just been promoted from the academy. Garnacho, in that same instance, this is his first season in the starting lineup consistently. But today just showed that Garnacho, for me, has to get better with his decision making. He has to get better with decision making. He has to. I'm sorry, but it's not good enough. It's not good enough. Today, what he did when he spun the keeper, shoot. Bro, just shoot. And this is the thing. Either way, on both sides, the game could have gone either way on both sides. If Luton finished their chances, completely different story. If United finished their chances, completely different story. And this is why I can't put today's performance on Erik ten Hag. I cannot put it on Erik ten Hag. It's the players. The players are brain dead. They actually got no brain. I think some of them got like 2 IQ between all of them. I swear to you. One other issue I have, Luke Shaw. Let's have a conversation about Luke Shaw. Let me go through the comments, and then we're gonna have a conversation about Luke Shaw, because United need to move faster. Big up to Aminor with the super chat, says we need to call out Bruno, Rashi, and Cassie. Cheats. Casemiro for me is a funny one. I have a funny opinion on Casemiro, and I'm going to speak about that. I'm actually going to speak about that. Big up to everyone in the chat. Be sure to hit the like button if you've just come through. Koala says, maybe I don't like Manchester United, but I don't think I can do this. This is a very toxic relationship. Leo Yo says, I can't blame Ten Hag for today. I want to beef Fernandes so much. Me says, Hojlund was great today. Hojlund, yeah? You know how good Hojlund was? Because his shirt, United's white kit, looked brown. That's how much my guy was on the floor throughout the game. He was challenging, pressing. It was the 80th minute. I think it was around the 80th minute, and he was leading a press, and he's telling them, come forward, guys. Come forward. United were given 50-50 duels, or even just, you know what? Because the way that I see it is if it's 2-1 and the opponent is pushing for that equalizer, you need to throw them off. Yeah? They are trying to build up from the back. You need to throw them off. They're taking heavy touches. Try and go for that ball. Rashford wasn't doing that. Bruno wasn't doing that. Garnacho wasn't doing that. And that is the biggest issue for me today. Big up to Ridwan in the chat, says, only Hojlund and Maino showed up for me. Rest went on the same page. I think Varane and Evans quietly had decent games. I think they quietly had decent games. I think Luke Shaw was at fault for the goal. I don't know how people are blaming Onana. Onana did what he should do. He came out and made himself big. Could he have thrown him, dived to catch it? I don't know. But I feel like he did what any keeper would do, come out, make himself big. Luke Shaw got spun like a Beyblade. He got spun. And that's not good enough. We need to talk about that. We need to be honest about that, and we need to talk about that. If that Bruno miss was McTee, the United universe would have been all over him. Bruno is crap. Bruno has to get sold. I think I've called it. I think I've called it. I think I've called it to say that he needs to get sold, because it's not good enough. Garnacho is so frustrating. We see it time and time again. It's time to drop Garnacho and give last chance to Anthony. Well, I'd rather watch Garnacho any day of the week. Sorry, Luman. I'd rather watch Garnacho any day of the week than to watch Anthony. I don't even want to see Anthony back in that team. I don't want to see him. Luke Shaw has an injury record worse than Martial, I believe. Wow. Luke Shaw needs to replace, for me, way too injury prone, new left back. The way that I see it is, with Mina, use your sources to try and get him Fernandes to Saudi. I beg. I might have to do that. Twalumba says, Erik ten Hag out. This is unsustainable. This is where I'm a bit on I don't want to say I'm on the fence, but today's performance, I know for a fact that is not on Erik ten Hag. Even he looked uninspired. I felt like me and him felt the same today. I saw that they panned to him at one moment during the game. I don't know if you remember, but they panned to him at one point, and he was just like this. I thought he was sleeping. I thought he was sleeping. He just was probably thinking, these people are brain dead. They are absolutely brain dead. Victor Lindelof at left back, I can't see that. Lindelof at centre back, I don't mind. I really don't mind. But at left back, I can't continue to watch that. I cannot continue to watch that. And unfortunately, United are in a position where we don't have left backs. We sent Reguilon back away after from his loan spell. Malacia is somewhere in the Himalayas. I think he's I think they got him locked up in a bunker somewhere, because we actually ain't even seen him on Man United socials. And Luke Shaw is just in and out of hospital. He's in and out of hospital. Today, straight down, before even half that. Do you know how serious it has to be, yeah? Do you know how serious it has to be for you to go straight down the tunnel before the half is even finished? He's done. Luke Shaw is finished. physically and his fitness-wise. And you know what? Today I was watching the game before he actually came off. I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was Casemiro getting subbed off until the camera panned to the bench and it was Lindelof coming on. I thought it was Casemiro coming off because I was thinking it can't be Luke Shaw because I saw Luke Shaw darting up the pitch many times. I saw Luke Shaw darting up the pitch many times. But do you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the fact that Erik ten Hag said this a couple months ago when Luke Shaw was on a run of games playing at centre-back position. Yeah, he was playing at centre-back position and he had a run of games there. And Erik ten Hag said, I will prefer to play him at centre-back than at full-back because at centre-back, he does not have to get forward. Like, he's up and down the pitch a lot less. And I don't know if that was a indirect. I don't know if that was firing shots at him about his fitness and his. But today, I saw him darting up and down the pitch. And probably the third time he did it, I said, yo, this is a new Luke Shaw. I thought, wow. And then straight after that, he got taken off. So clearly he overworked himself getting up and down that pitch today. Clearly he overworked himself getting up and down that pitch today. If Erik ten Hag was tactically better, he would have brought on Amrabat in the first half. Amrabat is shit as well. No disrespect. No disrespect, but he's not. Amrabat is not made for, I think, Manchester United. Maybe he could work in other actual setup systems, like complete systems. But in a United where Manchester United are still figuring it out, you know, the system, they're still figuring out the setup, they're still figuring out the style of play. Amrabat cannot flourish in that. He cannot flourish in that. And the reason why I say that is because we look at his international record, yeah? We look at how he plays at Morocco, how he played at Fiorentina. He was playing in a setup. He knew his role. In Morocco, he was that sitting midfielder. He had Unahi dropping down from the 8 role, picking up the ball from him. He was playing the ball, switching it across. He got Mazraoui on one side. On the left, he had other players. He had a role which was to sit back and basically do the dirty work, the nitty-gritty passing stuff, yeah? In Manchester United, we have too many people that want to do that role. And when I say want to do that role, I mean we have Casemiro that can do that role. We have Kobbie Mainoo that can do that role and even do it a bit more further up the pitch, yeah? Amrabat, put him next to Kobbie Mainoo, yeah? I don't know if you guys realize, yeah? This is the easy way to put it. When you play Casemiro and Kobbie Mainoo together, Casemiro can sit by himself. But when you play Amrabat and Kobbie, both of them have to sit. Because Amrabat cannot do the job that Casemiro does, unfortunately. And that's not me discrediting him in any way. I think he's a good player, but he's come into a system where there is no system. So he cannot find his feet. He won't be able to find his feet and find out what works best for him, what role he can play best under the manager. Brother's been playing at left back. I'm surprised he hasn't played at flipping in goal yet. I'm surprised he hasn't played in goal. And of course, he said that he would do anything and play wherever the manager needs him to be. But Amrabat is one of them situations where if Kobbie Mainoo never got injured at the beginning of the season and didn't have to sit out for so long, Amrabat would never have been in a United shirt. We're getting bare chances with Garnacho. He was running past every defender. I don't know if you guys realize, but because Garnacho was cooking Bell on the right-hand side, I don't know if you don't realize, they moved Mengi over. They moved Mengi onto Garnacho. They switched them around. I don't know if you guys realize. I only realized it in the second half that it was Mengi up against Garnacho, because prior to that, it was Mengi was playing on our left-hand side, their right-hand side, and he was up against Rashford. But United weren't really doing anything. You know, they were very and Luton were very comfortable with Rashford getting into spaces and being able to come, you know, come onto his right foot or anything. The times when Rashford was the most threatening was when he was making them darting runs off of Bruno, or, you know, making darting runs across Hojlund. That's when he was at threat. But 1v1 against a fullback, he weren't doing nothing, which is why I feel like Luton switched Mengi over to Garnacho, because Garnacho was actually doing well. He was actually doing well. System players won't work at the moment. He stinks. Lil Yo-Yo, man, I'm sorry, man. Sell that shirt, bro. Sell that shirt. Amrabat is dead in this team. Amrabat is gone in a few months anyways. Exactly, that's true. Who creates the system for players to thrive? The manager creates the system for players to thrive. However, and I say this with I say this with full conviction, the manager can set up the system. It's the player's job to execute it. Today, United could have won 5-1. United could have won 5-1. Yeah, we would have been singing the praises. Hojlund could have had a hat trick. Should have had a hat trick. Bruno could have had a goal. Garnacho could have had a goal. Dalot could have had a goal. Should have actually been 6. The manager sets up the system. In a game against Luton, away from home, Kenilworth Road, the manager set up in a way that I saw in the first 15 minutes what the system was, what the style of play was. I saw what it was. Yeah, let's be real. We saw what it was. However, when there's erratic stuff, when there's erratic moments from players, that's down on the player. That's down on the player. I'm sorry. Casemiro is so lucky. Casemiro is so lucky, guys, to not have got sent off that first half. He's so lucky. I can't. I heard the commentator say he's been sent off 3 times for United. I couldn't believe it. I had to go look on FootMob. I was like, bro, this guy's been sent off 3 times last season. He's been sent off 3 times. I thought, nah, this can't be legit. This cannot be real, but it is. And the problem is that, and also, I don't know if you guys saw, but there was a moment that Luton were on the break, and this was shortly after Casemiro got away with getting a second yellow card, and he couldn't tackle Ross Barkley. And what happens? Ross Barkley capitalizes on that, plays a ball across to the right hand side, and they had a break. They had a counter. Harry Maguire today, 2 times I saw him step up against Morris, and one drop of the shoulder had Maguire, bam, on the floor. Bam, giving away a free kick. And this is why I say games like this, it shows you that you can create a system, but it's the players' job to execute it. And when you look at the erraticness of Bruno Fernandes, I'll be real. If I was a footballer in United and I looked at my captain and that's how he's playing, I would be like, yeah, if my captain can get away with it, then so can I. And today I was thinking, you know what? This is a game where it's perfect. I thought it was a perfect game, 1-touch football or 2-touch ball. I thought it was a good game for that. Yeah, Kobe can do that. Rashford can do that. Hojlund, back to goal, can do that. Bruno can do it sometimes. Yeah. So when it got to like the 50, 60th minute, I thought, I'll be honest, I thought Ahmad couldn't be any more worse than this. Put Ahmad in that 10, and because when Ahmad plays right wing, when he played right wing for Sunderland, he liked to come in a lot, try and drift into that space between the 10 and the right winger, which is what Bruno likes to do on the left-hand side next to Rashford. So if you put Ahmad in the 10, he could drift between the spaces between the wingers and the 10. That would allow a bit of I don't want to say interchangeability. I don't know if that's a word, but it would allow some interchangeable positions between Rashford, between Ahmad, and then between Ahmad and between Garnacho. 1-touch football, 2-touch football, pass and move, ball at the feet of the player, look up, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. That's it. Simple passes. And what would happen? It will suck the opponent in and force them to overcommit numbers. It will force them to overcommit numbers, or it will force them to make a foul, make an error, something. And United were trying to play those balls over the top into Rashford, into Garnacho, and Hojlund was playing a lot more ball to feet. You could have done that easily, but unfortunately, today's game is just poor decisions from individuals. Like, it's poor. And you know what's so sad? Yeah, United won, and we're sitting here complaining. United won. I can't, for the life of me, no one I know can blame that on Ten Hag, in my opinion. No one can blame that on Ten Hag. Luton is not an easy place to go this season. It's not an easy place to go this season. We've seen them, put up fights against Chelsea, City, Liverpool, everybody. So, excuse me. We could walk away with 3 points. And I started the stream like that. I said, I'm happy with the 3 points. United are unbeaten in the calendar year of 2024. I said time and time again, 15 out of 15 points is February. That's the minimum. That is the minimum. 15 out of 15 points. And now we got Fulham next week. But my biggest concern is the physical condition of these players. That's my biggest worry. Like, honestly, that is my biggest worry. Blue says this Luton team has been fantastic against every big team. They even almost won against City. Isn't this a bit too much? We won. Listen, I don't think it's too much to kind of double down on the performances of players. Like, we have to be real. It's not all what's the word? It's not all flowers and I'm trying to think of the right saying, but basically, you know what I'm saying, innit? It's not all rosy. The performance is not all rosy. Yes. 3 points. Hojlund brace. 7 goals out of 6 games, unbeaten in the calendar year. For the first time this season, or since August, I think, United had the back-to-back same lineup. Didn't last long, but they had the back-to-back same lineup. There's some consistency coming. But there are some individual performances today that just showed you why United are far away, I think, from being a clinical team and being a dominating team. Let's be honest. United are very far away from being a dominating team. At one point during the game, there was 34% possession in Manchester United's final third. 34%. and it was like 40-something% in the middle of the pitch. It was fighting. It was a dogfight. It was essentially a dogfight in midfield. United, turnover. Luton, turnover. United, turnover. Now, let's be real. I sit here all the time, and I always say 3 points is always something to be happy about. But we can't fool ourselves with individual performances. We cannot fool ourselves with the way that certain individuals have played today, because you take those individual erratic performances out of the picture, and it would have been a completely different result. It would have been a completely different result. And you could look at it both ways. Like that Bruno thing that he did in the 92nd minute, taking a shot from the corner position. Yeah. Ross Barkley went on to hit the crossbar from a header from a corner. After that, Johnny Evans had to make a last-minute clearance. Yeah, a last-minute clearance. If we sit here and we say, if United finished their food, it would have been different. It would have been 4-1, 5-1. That's true. But if Luton finished those chances because of Bruno's erraticness, because of Bruno's lack of football IQ, I'm sorry, everybody, I think it's common knowledge. Yeah, 92, 93 minutes. You got 1 minute left of extra time. You're holding on to a lead. Hold it in the corner flag. Hold it in the corner flag. Just hold it there. Why are you going for goal? Why are you going for goal? So I could say, yes, if Garnacho finishes his chance or Bruno finishes his chance, it would be a different result. You know, people would be happy. It'd be 3-1, 4-1. That's true. But then again, that crossbar saved us. Johnny Evans saved us. Johnny Evans was our best player. Yeah. Johnny Evans was our best player, I would say, after Kobe and Rasmus. And Johnny Evans came on at halftime. Do you know how embarrassing that is? Johnny Evans played 45 minutes and he had a nice, tidy, responsible, experienced performance. Experienced. And I complained about signing Johnny Evans at the beginning of the season. Yeah, but this is what he comes in to do. United have an injury, you bring him on. Like, as simple as that. United have an injury, you bring him on. He showed today his discipline, that he has developed discipline over the period of his football career. Bruno Fernandes is pushing 30 years old and he still hasn't picked up that discipline. At what point is he going to pick it up? When he goes to play in Saudi in a couple of years? No. He ain't going to pick it up by then. It's frustrating, guys. Honestly, it's frustrating. And let me know if you guys kind of agree with me. If you disagree, listen. If you disagree, please let me know your thoughts in the chat and we can chat about it. Because like I said at the beginning of the stream, there are definitely some positives. There's highs in the games, there's lows in the games. But the highs in the games are individual highs. And the lows in the games are individual lows. They are both contributing to the performance. They are both contributing. And that's why I said that the system is not there yet. Because when you've got individual players having great performances and then individual players having poor performances, the entire starting 11 spectrum is disengaged. There is something wrong with them. Some of them cannot play with each other. Like, let's be real. Some of them cannot play with each other. Big up to Mo says, this manager scammed the hell out of me. No excuses will I, but the guy is a pure fraud. Haram football week in, week out. I can't take it, man. Listen, I don't know how people are blaming the manager, man. I don't know how people are blaming the manager completely for this. It's not on the manager. This is not on the manager. What more can the manager do? Garnacho, he spins, he gets past the keeper. What do you want Erik ten Hag to do? Huh? Come on and finish the goal for him. Finish the chance for him. Bruno Fernandes gets around the keeper. What do you want Erik ten Hag to do? Come off the bench and put the ball into the net. Dalot makes a great run. Amazing pass from Andre Onana. Yeah, amazing pass. He gets past him and then takes another bad touch. What do you want Erik ten Hag to do at that point? I think Erik ten Hag set up the team perfectly today. And you saw it even from Hojlund's goal. And that's one thing I like about Hojlund. That's one thing I really like about Rasmus Hojlund is he keeps that energy to 90 minutes. Hojlund keeps that energy to 90 minutes. That's a discipline that he has. You can't teach discipline. Let's be real. Let's be very honest with ourselves, guys. And I feel like the title today of the video should be Discipline. Discipline. That should be the title. Because you cannot teach discipline. And that's what some of the United players lack. And we saw it today. Rasmus Hojlund has the discipline even when he's tired, guys. His whole entire left-hand side was brown. My guy spent time in the mud like he was a pig rolling around. He was in the ground. He was fighting. His aerial duels, every duel, he was going toe-to-toe with the opponent. Yeah? That is because of his ability to do so. But then his discipline is even at 90 minutes, he's starting a press to rattle the back line and force them to be uncomfortable to hit on a break. That's discipline. That is discipline, and you cannot teach that. Discipline is what Johnny Evans came in and did. Discipline is what we saw Kobbie Mainoo do time and time again throughout the game today. That's discipline. And what I'm trying to say is, from that, it's not something you can teach. This is all traits that are innate to all of them. Johnny Evans maybe has developed the discipline over the course of his career, yeah? His 15-year career, however long he's been playing football for. Kobbie Mainoo has that trait. He's got that personality character, whatever you want to call it. But there's other players, they could it's just unsustainable. It's unsustainable. Some of them, it's not good enough. Like, I'll be real. It's not good enough. No way was that set up for by Ten Hag. It was like a basketball game going back and forth. No top team does that, especially versus Luton. I don't think it was intentionally a back and forth game. The game was lost in the midfield. The second that Casemiro got booked and Kobbie had to support defensively, because let's talk about I'm gonna quickly just talk about the midfield setup in the first 20 minutes before Casemiro got booked and before he just about dodged that red card, yeah? And I actually tweeted this, guys. Go back and look on my Twitter page. My socials are here below. Go look at my Twitter page, yeah? I tweeted in the first 15 minutes of the game saying, I think I tweeted it or I said it in the UV chat. I said that Bruno was playing a bit more deeper and Kobbie was playing a bit more advanced in the first 10-15 minutes. That's both when United scored both goals, yeah? Kobbie was supporting Hojlund with the press. Bruno Fernandes was picking the ball up off Casemiro. First 15-20 minutes, yeah? Then Casemiro got booked. Kobbie had to come and support Casemiro in that midfield because Casemiro is now on a yellow card. So he can't do the nitty-gritty physical duel stuff because he's already on a yellow. He even nearly got booked again. That is where it went wrong for United. And from that point on, from when Casemiro got booked, that is when the basketball match started. High turnovers started. In the midfield, it was about 40-something% of the game was played in the midfield because neither team could keep possession. Neither team could dominate the midfield. Neither team could be responsible and tidy in the midfield. And that all was as a result of Casemiro getting that yellow card and Kobbie having to come a bit more back to support him, play in a double pivot, because essentially Casemiro was a lone midfielder and Bruno was picking up the ball off him in the first 15-20 minutes. And for me, that's where I want to say, excuse my language, but the shit show started. That's where it started. From the moment that Casemiro got booked, it was a basketball game. Ten Hag never told him to do that. Ten Hag never told him to fly into tackles. But I'll be real also, the referee is a disgrace because he gave Kobbie Mainoo a yellow card for what was clearly, he won the ball. He won the whole ball. Didn't even touch the man. Did not even touch the man. But the referee gave him a yellow card. So those kind of situations for me is not something that I can put on the manager. Because I can see from the first 15-20 minutes that the manager set the team up to have Kobbie a bit more advanced, Bruno playing more like as a lower, I want to say lower 8, but that's not really a term, and Casemiro as that lone 6, which meant Bruno was picking up the ball from Casemiro, Kobbie was playing a bit more advanced. The second that Casemiro got booked, Kobbie back into the midfield, support him. And unfortunately, that's what happened. And from that moment on, in my opinion, that's when I feel like the basketball match started, high turnover started, inconsistency in possession, and the ability to keep possession. Let's be real. And once the opponent, and this is not just Luton, by the way, but I feel like once the opponent can see that United is rattled in midfield, they will just keep pressing. That's it. They will keep pushing. That's it. Luke Shaw, you've given United a great number of years. A great number of years of service. United have to go out and buy a left back. They have to. And I mean this with all respect. I mean this with all respect to Luke Shaw. And I mean this with all respect to Tyrell Malacia. Because I never thought Tyrell Malacia was a starter. I'll be real. I never thought he was a starter. Even when we brought him, I even wrote an article, I remember, about players that United should buy, and Tyrell Malacia was one of them at that summer. And I said that he would be a great backup option to Luke Shaw and then allow United to go out in the next 2 years to buy another left back. Those 2 years are now here. Luke Shaw, great servant of the club. However many years it's been, I think near enough to double digits. But he cannot be United's left back going into next season. If he's there as a rotation option, okay, cool. But he cannot be United's left back position starter, if you want to call it that. I'm not blaming anything on him today. I'm just saying from him coming off at halftime, he's had a whirlwind of injuries this season, and it's just shown time and time again that this cannot go on. It can't go on. And I don't think United will actually see him as a priority to replace, if I'm being honest. I don't think so. But today also showed us that United need a midfielder. United are in dire need of a midfielder. If they don't get a midfielder next season, then we can expect to see sloppy performances over and over again. Big up, guys. Be sure to hit the like button if you've just come through. Let me know your thoughts below about the game. I think the biggest positive of the performance today, the biggest positive for me is that United are just closing down that gap between the top four. I'm saying top four, but it's really fourth place, because 1 to 3 is kind of cemented. I think it'll be between Liverpool, City, and Arsenal. But United are also capitalizing on other teams around us dropping points. And that's what I said yesterday. I think I said it would be like a 2-1 or a 3-1. But I said that United have to just capitalize on people dropping points. They just have to do that. And I'm happy with that. Let's talk about Rasmus Hojlund, a player that had he got slated a lot. He got slated a lot at the beginning of the season and throughout the season, pretty much until Christmas, when he didn't get a goal. Every week I would sit here and I would say, guys, tomorrow's the day that Rasmus Hojlund scores. And the one day that I didn't say it, is the day that he scored. So maybe I was the jinx. But every week I sat here saying, guys, Rasmus Hojlund, this is the week he's going to score. This is the week he's going to score. And he finally done it. I'm happy for him. I see all the nitty-gritty stuff he does, the difficult stuff, creating chances for himself. That second goal he scored was just greatly taken. I think it was actually off target, so Garnacho never even hit the target. And I think it went down as an assist. for Garnacho. But he's one positive. Rasmus Hojlund is one positive that we can take away from the game. He's one positive. Kobbie Mainoo, I think we know. Kobbie Mainoo is a man amongst boys. Every game, I see it time and time over. Who is your man of the match of the game, guys? Let me know your man of the match below in the chat for the game. Because for me, I think I want to say Johnny Evans, but he didn't play a full 90, so it'd be unfair. I could say Kobbie. I would say Hojlund for his 2 goals. Yeah, I would say Hojlund, but Kobbie Mainoo shows us time and time again that some things you cannot teach. And I never want to hear anybody attributing the characteristics that Kobbie has to Erik ten Hag. Never want to hear that. Because the things that Kobbie Mainoo does, it's just stuff that you can tell that is innate. It's in his brain. It's common sense to him to do that stuff. Sometimes, not 100% of the time does it work out, but most of the time he makes the right decision. And I think Dallow's having a good season, but I don't know if Dallow will be the player of the season at the end of the season. I don't know. And I think Kobbie being player of the season at the end of the season would be unfair because he came like 3 months after the season started. But just on today, I think Kobbie showed us. He shows us why it's important. Kobbie showed us today why it's important to be disciplined, to be tidy. I could not believe, guys, honestly, I can't get my head around it. I can't get my head around an 18-year-old telling a 30-year-old to calm down with the ball because he's playing erratically. Are you not embarrassed? Are you not embarrassed? Because that is absolutely embarrassing. Because you got an 18-year-old telling you to calm yourself down. That's crazy. No way Garnacho got an assist for that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Garnacho did. We need another Mainoo to control the midfield. Listen, is there any other Kobbie Mainos in the academy that we could just pluck out? Kobbie needs help in that midfield, man, and Bruno ain't it. Performance-wise, it's Kobbie. Going off of goals, it's Rasmus. Mainoo, man of the match, just for sheer high-level consistency throughout the game. Still can't believe that card. That yellow card was so disgraceful. Hojlund, Mainoo potentially man of the match. Hojlund man of the match. Kobe Mano till the end of the season. I think every game we're just going to be going into. I feel like every game we're just going to be going into it saying Kobe man of the match. Kobe Mano man of the match. I can say it before the game, and it will probably still be applicable even after the game. It will still be applicable, which is jokes, because how's your best player in a summer window that you spent 200 something million? Your best player this season is someone you got for free from your academy. Oh, you can't make that. You actually can't make that out. Now that I think about it, you spent 200 and something million in a summer transfer window just for your best player to be a free person that you just plucked out of the academy. The joke's just write itself at this point. The jokes. Let's see what the Premier League table looks like now. Actually, you know what my favorite thing to do is, guys? My favorite thing after a game I've started doing now is I go onto FootMob and I like to look at the ratings after the game. So let's look at the ratings after the game. Ever since I started doing this share my screen nonsense, let's have a look at the ratings. You guys should be able to see my screen. Let me zoom in a little bit so that you guys can see it a bit better. Should be able to see it a bit better now. Look at that, Hojlund with a 9 rating. I don't like to go off these ratings because they're not always I think accurate. But can I just say, 1 and 2 levels today. Levels today. 1 Chelsea reject and an Arsenal reject. No disrespect to them. No disrespect to them. But they balled out. Barkley showed Bruno Fernandes levels today. He showed him. And I saw a quote from, I think it said James Booker, talking about how fond he is of Barkley and how unfortunate it was that he didn't have a lot of playing time. Sambi Lokonga, class today in midfield. He was so good. He was so good. And this is why I say, look, my guy got a 7.7 rating. This is unserious. And Varane got a 7 rating. Varane got a 7 rating. Are you having a laugh? I told you Garnacho got the assist for the goal, guys. I told you that Garnacho got the assist. These are fraudulent. I'm not going to lie. These ratings are a little bit fraudulent. They are. I always wonder, what do they base the stats off? What do they base the stats off? Kobe Mano with a 7.6. You're telling me Bruno had a better game than Kobe? Come on. Johnny Evans with a 7 rating, and he came on at halftime. He came on at halftime. This is funny. This is actually funny. This is actually jokes. Morris had an 8.5. I think he was decent, but I don't think he was 8.5 decent. I think he was okay, but I guess because he got the goal. Let's look at how the table looks now. The table now, United are 3 points off of City. Look at that goal difference. Oh my god. Oh my god. That is the most embarrassing goal difference I've ever seen. Oh my god. That goal difference, guys, is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. A 1. Everybody above us got double digits plus that. 35 goal difference, 36, 31, 19, 14, 1. 1. That is so embarrassing. Who else got 1? Chelsea got 1. Flipping hell. Sheffield and Burnley, yeah, you man are going down. But what does that mean for United? Do you think top 4 is realistic? United are now 5 points off of Villa. 5 points off of Villa. 3 points off of Spurs. They got Fulham next week. I'm going to quickly check to see what is the fixtures next week. I want to see who Villa are playing and who Spurs are playing. Spurs are playing... I don't know who. Spurs are not playing next week. Okay, that's weird. Oh, Spurs were meant to play Chelsea next week, but it's been postponed. I don't know why. But they were meant to play Chelsea next week, but it's been postponed. Other than that, I can't see who they're playing. Villa are playing Nottingham Forest next week, which will be an interesting matchup. Let's see who Tottenham Hotspurs are playing. Tottenham are playing... Their next game is March the 2nd, apparently. So they're not even playing next week. They got a week off. Oh, it's the League Cup final. That's why their game got postponed. Okay, that makes sense. Carabao Cup final. 5th is realistic. I think 5th is realistic. 5th gets you Europa League football. 5th gets you Europa League football. That is what you get from it. Unless I don't know what the coefficient nonsense is when it comes to Champions League. I think it depends on each football federation and the number of teams that they have in, like how far into the competition. I don't know. That whole stuff doesn't make sense to me in it. But top 4 should be the goal regardless. Top 4 should be the goal. And this is why I always say, whenever people say to me, is top 4 the goal? I say, just focus on yourselves. Focus on getting the results. If United focus on getting the results themselves and just focus on doing what they have to do, we don't need to let other teams drop points. Like today's game, I wasn't thinking about, oh my God, Spurs dropped points this week. We need to capitalize on that. I just thought, just get the 3 points and just keep it stepping. Just keep it stepping. We can sit here and dissect it. We can sit here and talk about it, of course. But just get the 3 points and keep it stepping. It's as simple as that. Be sure to hit the like button, guys. If you've just come through, the likes and the views is not like and viewing right now. I'll be real. It's not like and viewing right now. But be sure to hit the like button if you just come through. My birthday weekend officially comes to an end. Unfortunately, it was my birthday yesterday. But my birthday weekend comes to an end. I spent half of it being sick. I am still sick. United made it a little bit better by getting 3 points. And can we just talk about how much of the guys? You see what happened with Bayern Munich? Let's just talk about that quickly. Sorry, let's just talk about that because but Thomas Tuchel is getting sacked. He has to get sacked. How can you sack Nagelsmann? Yeah, how can you sack Nagelsmann, who was still in 3 competitions, to bring in Tuchel? Spend all that money in the summer transfer window for what? For what? How many men did you bring him? You brought him Kim Min-jae. You brought him Harry Kane. And what's happening? That is so like I actually just laughing at Bayern Munich just makes me feel a bit better. I'll be real. If United go to Bayern Munich, if United go to Bayern Munich to buy a player in the summer and it's not Jamal Musiala because Bruno Fernandes needs to go, give me Jamal. Would you take Jamal Musiala over in the 10 and sell Bruno Fernandes? Because I absolutely would. Not a doubt about it. Jamal Musiala reminds me in Kobbie Mainoo in the instance. Let me finish. Musiala reminds me in the instance of Kobbie Mainoo that he looks like a man amongst boys when he plays with people. Simple as that. In the German national team, in the World Cup, he was Germany's best team. They got bounced out in the group stages. He was their best player. Multiple times for Bayern Munich, been that. I know you lot are raining on my parade. Don't rain on my parade, guys. I know he's not coming, but I'm saying if United were to go to Bayern Munich and we walk away with that Tell guy and not Musiala or not Kimmich, then it's like how we went to Ajax and brought Anthony and left Kudus there. He's obviously going to cost a bit. But I'm just saying, it's just hypothetical. It's just me speaking hypothetically. That's it. That's all, guys. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot me, okay? But anyways, guys, I'm going to quickly wrap it up there. 3 points today. We had a bit to talk about. Listen, it was a very underwhelming performance in the instance that it could have gone either way to both teams, and that's not good enough. That's not good enough. The positives are 3 points away from home. What's that? 4 Premier League wins on the bounce. 5 in a row in all comps. Unbeaten in the calendar year so far in 2024. What's that? 7 and 6 for Rasmus Hojlund. Another assist for Alejandro Garnacho. Another great performance for Kobbie Mainoo. There's some positives. There is absolutely some positives to take away from this game. But you guys know that today just showed why Manchester United need to look a bit closer to home when it comes to performances. We need to stop looking at the manager like that. Of course, we can say that the manager chooses to play these people. But come on. You guys know what it is, man. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe on your way out. I'm not that far off from 3K, man. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. You guys see the new setup. You see the cards I got behind me. I actually need to switch it up a little bit. I got a bunch of signed football shirts that I've been gifted like from different people. So I need to put them in the frames. I need to put them on the walls. And the setup is setuping. That's all I have to say. I'll be back tomorrow, of course, with a daytime stream. You guys are getting a daytime stream. Yeah? For all my Europeans, for all the people on the west side of the world, apologies to those in North America and that, but you'll get a daytime stream tomorrow. We've got a lot of content coming throughout the week. Going to bring some more career modes. We're going to do some career modes. We've got some women's content. Of course, we've got some more watch-alongs as well. You guys know that. Big up to everyone. Shout out to anyone who sent super chats into my channel over the weekend. I really appreciate it. Absolutely made my birthday. Thank you to everyone that wished me a happy birthday as well. Means a lot to me, actually. You know one thing about my birthday, guys, and I was saying this last night whilst I was saying this to my friend whilst I was like just reflecting on it. My birthday shows me every year just how much I'm loved by people. That's it. That's it. And what's better than that? Nothing is better than that. Big up to Aminor with the last minute super chat. Says, Mina, can Anthony be our new left back for this season? He should be left back on the bench. That's that. If he's playing left back, it's left back on the bench. That's it. Not left back on the pitch. Left back on the bench. I don't want to see that guy within a 2-mile radius of the starting 11. I'm not joking. He does not have the defensive traits to be a fullback, guys. Please, let's get this out of our heads. He does not have the defensive ability. Come on. We complain about fullbacks not being good offensively. So why the hell would we put a winger at left back who is not even good offensively, let alone being good defensively? Anthony's not good enough. He's not good enough. The only left wing he should be left back on the bench, and I'm gonna stick by that forever. But big up to Aminor with the super chat. I appreciate it. But like I said, thank you all to those who wish me happy birthday. Thank you to everyone that sent me messages. Thankfully, Man United managed to grab 3 points to make my weekend a bit better as well. Excuse me. If you watch Manchester United Women, new episode of the Carrington podcast is out now, linked directly in the bio of this video. I was joined by Moyo where we were talking about the game at the Emirates yesterday, so we had a bit to talk about on that one. If you want to check it out, you can. Be sure to hit 5-star on Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to. Be sure to hit the like button on this video on your way out, and I will be back tomorrow. You don't know what it is, man. Until next time, it's your girl Mina. Peace.